What's up, YouTube? In this video, we'll be discussing the cameras that I own and the type of pictures you can take with them. Let's get started. So the first one I own is the D3400. I bought that camera new for about $500. It's a crop sensor DSLR. Has a resolution of 24.2 megapixels. It's a DX format CMOS sensor. This camera came with a 18-55 kit lens along with a 70-300 lens. Like I mentioned earlier, this camera's a crop factor, or this camera's a crop sensor, has a crop factor of 1.6, meaning a 50 millimeter lens on this camera will look like a 80 millimeter lens on a full frame camera, kinda. This could be a good or a bad thing, but we'll get into that in a later video. But for right now, like I said, this is the D3400. Next, we have the D600. This is a full frame camera, my first full frame camera, but could also be put into crop mode if you so desire. It has a 24.3 megapixel resolution FX format CMOS sensor. I bought this used on eBay for about $600. This, like I said, this is my first leap into full frame. Now this camera is an FX body, so that means you can use FX lenses on this. You can use DX lenses, but as soon as you put it on, it's gonna kick it into crop mode. So, like I said, you can have crop if you want to, which, like I said, can be a good thing for reach. But I'll explain all that in a future video. Last but certainly not least is my D800. This is also another full frame camera that could also be put into crop mode if desired. This has a resolution of 36.3 megapixels, FX format, CMOS sensor. I bought this used on eBay as well for about $689. The one thing it had was a broken the actual housing for the viewfinder. It's a really cheap part. It's about 15 bucks. I changed that and I'm really happy with it. It only had about 22,000 shutter clicks, which is actually pretty good for this. So for the price, and like I said, I'm not the richest person in the world, so for the price it definitely worked. And the pictures that come out of it are pretty decent. So that's the D800. What I'll do right now, so on the screen right now is an image from my D3400. So my daughter, as you can see, it's not a bad picture. The one thing that I had to realize is it wasn't so much that the camera was bad as the lens was cheap. So as you'll see as you grow in your journey, that as you get better as a photographer, that you'll find better glass makes for better pictures, and that is by far what I've learned. So I'm sure you will too. So here's that picture of the D3400. So I'm gonna switch it right now. Here's a picture from the D600. This is of my wife. This is when I was really discovering that, you know what, I really like portrait photography. And that's what I'm focusing on, is portrait photography and family photos. Maybe try to get into a little fashion thing, but I don't think so. I think I like the genre of portrait photographer as of right now. Well, focusing on families and whatnot. But as you can see, this picture has a lot more clarity, a lot more depth to it. Now that's because I have a little bit better glass behind the camera on this one. So and more to follow. So the one thing that I want to stress is that when I'm doing these videos is that when I'm taking pictures with my full frame camera, I'm still going to take the pictures with the crop sensor, so you can see that, you know, you can still get good results from a crop sensor. I don't want to keep it going that, you know, that crop sensor is somehow inferior camera. It is not. It's just a different camera. It's a different You just have to know how you're going to fill up that frame of that camera and use the megapixels that are in there, because it's still quite a bit of megapixels, 24. So okay, we'll wipe that off the screen. The next one is of my D800, my most recent purchase. I've only had it for maybe a month now, but you know, I can definitely see the difference between the D600 and by far the D3400. The difference that was made by investing in a higher megapixel camera. The clarity, when you get down to it, is absolutely ridiculous. So here's that picture. That's of my son. So my next video would be finally a deconstruction of a photo, and we're going to use this photo here. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down the lighting, the composition, everything, and try to recreate that. So like, subscribe, and share if you know someone that wants to, you know, get better at photography. Share it with them. Let them come along with me, so I can try to get better at photography. So like I said, we're going to be doing this image. So I would definitely check back with me on my next video. I'm going to try to do these once a week, you know, and see where it goes. And let's see where we are in a year together. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Later.